Mic check 1, 2.
With more power comes more responsibility, that as Asians become cooler and gain more power, that we can use it for a greater good, and that hey, let's all learn and grow from each other.
If I log on to the internet, I would see tomorrowpictures.tv.
What brought you out here today, if you don't mind speaking with us?
We just wanted to come out and support Trump. So
I'm immigrant.
And she's
I'm from Indonesia, and I'm immigrant.
You're from where? I'm sorry?
Indonesia.
Okay.
And I'm Muslim.
Muslim immigrant, supports Trump all the way.
And I have my law degree.
Okay.
America's a great country because of its ideals, I think, but I think it's dangerous also to say that America is just the greatest country bar none. I think that's something that gets trumpeted by everybody, no matter which party you are, and I think that leads down a dangerous path of, I don't know what you'd call it, but that American exceptionalism, as if nobody else can do things well, and that we have no faults. So I think there's something to be said for the ideals being what makes us great, and the principles we hold as far as freedom, and whether it be freedom of the press or freedom of speech, and the opportunity to participate in the democratic process. But I don't think that makes us the greatest ever, or that will ever be, or ever has been.
When we have paradigm shift in politics, and when these people have total right to rule themselves, to rule themselves, not by others. And as I told you, we have diversities, we have biodiversity as well, we have lots of potentiality.
Well, we play music in Delhi, that's New Delhi, India, the capital city of India, and we have these two beautiful girls with us. That's Rini and Christy, and we play in this club called Blues.
Financial crisis. How we can think of to resolve the financial crisis, that is the most important thing right now.
Because America is such a young nation, a lot of ancestries don't run that far back. A lot of times they'll go back to the mother country of the immigrant, land of immigrants.
A lot of people have this misconception that just because it's a wider variety of healthcare that people won't get the same kind of care, but it's not true, because when I was in South Korea, I had a first-hand account of how healthcare can make a difference in your life. Me getting a prescription for $2 and going to see a doctor for less than $10 literally saved my life.
Election Night in America is brought to you by coal, the dominant source of our electricity.
I'm also a little concerned about foreign policy as well. I think that Barack Obama's turn to Asia and the Pacific is more in line with where the country should go than continuing to fight wars in Iraq and Afghanistan.
I think what really makes America a great country is the fact that we have such a strong, diverse melting pot of cultures as well as experiences. And what I mean by experiences, people come from all different walks of life, as well as the ethnicities behind them, and they bring to the United States that wealth of experience. And by adding to the fold, it just really creates what I would say a mix of so many different things, whether it be in entertainment, politics, food, culture. I really feel that gives a heightened sense of universalism within the United States, and I think that's what really makes America such a strong country.
You gotta see it. Whoa, I'm an alien, and I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
I born in a middle class family, and my father was a teacher. As I told before, I wanted to support the people who needed, but I had no money. But I'm very proud and happy to be a medium or to be a bridge of this kind of job.
I'm a software engineer. So that's why I'm supporting outsourcing. I'm a PC guy. Okay.
Alright, so which one's better? Mac?
Definitely PC. I don't even miss Mac, that's why.
Because I love singing and it's my hobby too.
Would you like to
be
Are you excuse me, hold on. He's concerned and trying to protect you. Can you speak for yourself or do you not want to say something?
That's okay. He can speak for myself. I mean, he can speak for me too.
Okay.
I came here in Delhi, and I love singing, and it also provides what to say? Yeah, it also provides us a platform to express what we really like and what we want to do in life. So,
What do you think about Obama being reelected?
I want him to be re-elected.
Why?
I think it's gonna be good for a lot of people. A majority of the people.
That says it all, right? Did you want to say anything else, or is that it?
That's it.
Look, I'm a French-speaking one from Central African Republic, but I think it's very much important because if give back proud to many of us, also it gives hope really to many people, not only colored people, but people who are disadvantaged at the beginning, people who seems to be behind. It gives them hope to know that they can make it, they can do it.
I sing gospel song in the church.
Socially, I think there is going to still be a lot of tension around China in particular, but also Russia, which is part of Asia.
Sorry?
That's something that is healthy because there are concerns there. Also with the Middle East, which some may say is its own region, but also some may say is part of Asia or part of Europe. There's tension there socially and politically.
So what brought you out today for Martin Luther King Day?
Today is because the Martin Luther King on holiday, and I just want to bring my daughter to see the place, and so she will have a better idea and what Martin Luther King is, what he's where he was born, and all these historical places related to Martin Luther King, and she's very interested in knowing more about Martin Luther King. I think this is the best time to bring her to see, to visit Martin Luther King's birthplace.
A time comes when silence is betrayal. That time has come for us in relation to Vietnam. The truth of these words is beyond doubt, but the mission to which they call us is a most difficult one, even when pressed by the demands of inner truth. Men do not easily assume the task of opposing their government's policy, especially in time of war, nor does the human spirit move without great difficulty against all the apathy of conformist thought with one's own bosom and in the surrounding world. Moreover, when the issues at hand seem as perplexing as they often do, In the case of this dreadful conflict, we are always on the verge of being mesmerized by uncertainty. But we must move on.
Thank you. Now being finished.
Barack Obama is a president of United States, and he's hot. I don't know if he's good, but we'll find out in next 4 years, and that's it. I'm looking forward to see him how he's gonna be in. I really don't know. As I said, I'm gonna find out in next 4 years. I can't say. He's good looking. He's very, very hot. He's sexy. Yeah, they stick out. They do. He's hot. He definitely is hot. I'm done.
What's that? Yes, he is. He's going to be a hell of a lot better than Bush. And he's going to make it better because Bush definitely made it worse. Bush is bad because he only cares for the rich people. He doesn't give a crap about the younger crowd, the poor, the middle class, the lower class. Barack Obama promises that he's going to take care of those people. And that's what we look forward to. Thank you. America.
Are you?
Yeah. Virginia, close to D.C. Yeah. I voted for Barack Obama.
So growing up, I grew up in Burbank, California. I was one of the only Asian kids in my elementary school, and I was teased by a lot of white kids, and so I grew up with this inferiority complex. None of the white girls even noticed you. You were just the guy that can ask for, math homework. You were the violin kid. So you grow up with that complex, and then it went into junior high, middle school, and that's when I started watching stand-up comedy, and that's when I saw Def Comedy Jam. I would see black comedians making fun of white people. I'm talking about like hilarious, cutting-edge, raw, mean humor because they can, and they became my heroes. I would see black comedians making fun of my, there'll be black people like this and white people are like this, and I would laugh so hard. For me, I identified with that.
And of course, the way we look is going to be exactly the way we are. We're not going to copy somebody or something like that, but it is more about our personality.
But I think people need to step back and look at the entire picture.
After all, Bollywood is the best for the music. You have variety of music. You have romantic, you have emotional, then you have variety of singers here. Lata Mangeshkar, Kishore Kumar, then your Mohammad Rafi.
You want to say something?
Yes. Hello, my name is Rini. My full name is Lalrin Tluangi. I know that's a lot for you. I come from the northeastern part of India.
Though we do not produce nitrogen or hydrogen bomb or so many other, that's a jet plane, okay, we have our own potentiality. We do not need the exact structure what developed countries have done. We have our own modality of development, and we can be happy with our own model.
But Asian Americans are very distinctive, and why I say that is, number one, we don't speak the same languages. We don't share the same historical suffrages that Koreans versus Chinese versus Vietnamese versus, it's been very, very spread out. And at times we've been at ends with each other, at odds and ends with each other. So I think what happens in the political landscape is both politicians, even the media and entertainment, they group us together, but they don't group us together in the right way.
If you look at Rini, she's got this hair. So I'm fine with it. I don't want to do anything else more than that. That's Rini. Christy, she's hot. Take a look. And I'm just fine with the way I am,
And I think there needs to be much more thought put into it, especially when it comes to politics. I think the Republicans did a terrible job this year in regards to how they did market or reach out to the Asian American demographic. And again, media does this all the time. They group it when they don't understand the distinct differences between the ethnicities, between the cultures.
I don't want to do something which does not go well with my image. So it's basically about being yourself and just do your best,
But I think as an Asian American myself, I think what needs to happen as the younger generations, the second, third, and fourth generations, they need to realize that we do need to be a bit more collaborative because we do have a voice. Regardless of the fact that everybody groups us as one skin color, we also have to realize that there's things that we can do as that group to affect change.
Pursuing a policy that focuses on economic stability is kind of where that's going, as opposed to establishing kind of global, global peace through sort of a military rule. I feel like turning to Asia and kind of dealing with rising economies there is looking more towards establishing that kind of global, relations on a more economic basis, and I think that's probably more important for the future of America.
I like many artists. I used to listen to this one, ABBA, and all the Carpenters. I love those old days.
हम गाने हिमेश रेशमिया के सुनते हैं।
हमारा फेवरेट एक्टर है शाहिद कपूर।
गाने जैसे सैड सॉन्ग, क्लासिकल सॉन्ग, बस सैड सॉन्ग ज़्यादा करके। वो एक गाना तो इससे आता है।
Just for the first time, we're like, wow, Asians could be cool, and I think a lot of people can't handle that. Like, whoa, that these Ching Chong people are becoming cool. Like, our kids are listening to their music. Like, these parents are tripping out about that.
वैसे तो हम पुराने गाने सुनते हैं, मोहम्मद रफ़ी वगैरह, तलत महमूद, और ये जितने पुराने हैं वो बहुत सुरीले गाने लगते हैं इस वक्त भी, उम्र के हिसाब से भी, हमारी उम्र के हिसाब से भी बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं। लेकिन जो आजकल जो नए गाने आए हैं वो भी अच्छे गाने हैं, वो भी, लेकिन वो उनकी लॉन्ग लाइफ नहीं है। लेकिन जो पुराने गाने हैं उनमें तो उनका तो कोई मैच ही नहीं है कि इतने प्यारे आज भी वो लगते हैं, इतने अच्छे आज भी लगते हैं। नए गाने हैं, महीना 2, 3, 4 चले, उसके बाद वो उनकी लाइफ ख़त्म हो जाए।
फॉरेन म्यूजिक बेसिकली मैडोना and Michael Jackson I like very well.
He is saying that when other kite comes, it will be fun to play with other kites.
Just because the U.S. has been a very Eurocentric nation, in our proximity to Latin America, and has made it a little bit more familiar with, African American culture, or European culture, Latin culture, but I think Asia just seems so foreign. So a lot of talk of China taking over, or cheap goods from China, human rights issues. I think that makes Asian American culture seem very foreign. So I think once people get to become more familiar or comfortable with that, it won't seem as menacing.
I'm very engaged in the Asian American community. I'm very engaged with, if someone puts a mic or a camera in front of my face, I'll talk. It's not that I shy away from it, but I think it's still ingrained in a lot of cultures because that's what they did in their motherlands, their fatherlands. And when they came here, those parents imparted that same type of attitude. But I think if you give it time, I think the third, fourth, fifth generations are going to start being much more vocal. I think it's already happening.
I think that though Martin Luther King was African black, African American, but the things he did, his ideas and the things that he proposed and he advocated, actually transferred to the black people and actually applied to all the people in the world, whether colored or non-colored, and whether it's from America or from other places.
I think there's a need to draw conservatives into the fold as far as just a discussion, an honest discussion about what it'll take to reform immigration and immigration policy, so you don't have 20-year waiting periods for those coming from certain countries, so that families aren't torn apart. There's just a number of problems and the system is broken. Everybody agrees on that. They're just not really talking about it in any meaningful ways yet. So accountability is really the key.
I'm growing and I'm accepting of more people, and I'm learning and my eyes are being open, and so.
Of course, on the Republican side, they also have many candidates which are emerging as the lead. So I see this is an interesting and exciting period, and also very crucial to United States.
I'm too busy with my own politics. I don't interfere in other politics, American or Indian, whatever. You guys from which place?
Atlanta, Georgia. He's from here.
Okay.
Barack Obama. All I know that he's the first black president, that's it.
And how do you think it is important for the world?
For Barack Obama, at least, I don't know if he directly concerns India, if it's going to help us directly, but if McCain would have come, I guess it would have helped India.
How?
Barack Obama, I don't think so he's interested in the war or something like that. He's more towards the financial progress of the nation.
Should select someone who is supporting war.
Not supporting war actually, in fact countering terrorism, that's it.
Okay,
not supporting war.
You don't think that he'll bring change in the counterterrorism?
Yeah, even if he brings change, it'll only help America, not the world. I don't think so. I don't know. Not. Now since he's already selected, I don't think so. We can actually Indians can actually do something about it right now.
What I meant was I thought that his policy to shift international relations, it seemed that he was more interested in looking at relationships with Asia as opposed to kind of ramping up aggression, I guess, in the Middle East.
I'm interested in my life only, and that's too much for me to take it, so I am not interested in any other thing except myself.
So it's basically about expression, where you're from, and just express your music.
That is all from my side.
God willing, probably go to the US as well, because we want to know what the people in Europe would respond to our music. See, because we've performed in India for a long while. You know, I performed in Malaysia and China and Dubai. You know, I know what the crowd is like, these parts of the world. But I would want to know how would people react to our kind of music in Europe and probably in the US.
Though I'm not a U.S. citizen, but I'm still interested in the whole political process, and I see that the Martin Luther King's ideas, people will find that I think I just feel that American people will try to find his ideas in the campaign and in these candidates, the speech and the things they try to advocate or try to achieve. I think it's very much relevant to the whole campaign, and his dream actually is a dream for the people on the earth.
It's time as we progress towards this, shedding that model minority myth and saying, look, we are not the timid mouse type of ethnic group that that the media and everything else sort of draws us to be.
Well, to those of you who have just come in, good evening and welcome to the the Empress Lounge. We have a few minutes before we close for the evening. Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care.
There are some American friends, my American friends, who can speak better Nepali than I can do. Okay? There are friends who ask me, were you educated in the West? I obviously said no. This adaptation also sometimes really matters, and the learning environment and the way of learning also really matters. Okay, how we learn, how we accumulate things, how we acquire things, and how we inherit things.
So it's basically about expression, where you're from, and just express your music.
We're all like the same. Like, we're human beings. Like, underneath all this other color and everything, like, we look in each other's eyes. We're just human beings. Whether you're straight, gay, Asian, black, white, Latino, like, underneath it all, like, if you're in an elevator with a group of different people, and that whole elevator got stuck, then next thing you know, like, you start bonding with those people. Or if there's a hurricane, or there's like a bomb.
What do you hope for Nepal in the future as it relates to the rest of the world? Asia, China, India, United States, the planet Earth. What do you hope for Nepal? Like, what do you wish for the future? The future beyond even your lifetime.
When I went abroad and came back, and when I read the newspapers, like, Nepal can be best country in the world because we have the Mount Everest to the lower land. So this is like a amazing country. We can produce anything of the world in such a country. But like, we need a very good leader who has no greed or like greed for the money. But still, we are lacking such a person who can really lead the country.
Like, I hope that with the rise of Asians, that people understand, like, look, like, we're all human beings, and for so long Asians have been shitted on in terms of, like, one thing for sure, Asians have never been cool ever until recently, like a few years ago, like 2010 maybe.
I know that we've got congressmen and senators that are Asian. I don't see it being that too far off. I don't see the prospect of an Asian American candidate for president. I think it'll happen in my lifetime. I hope it does.
Do you have any certain issues you want to hear him speak about today?
No, we just want to kind of hear what he says. See it.
To show your love?
Show our love.
And may I speak with your wife for a moment? Did you get your law degree here in the States?
No.
No? Do you work as a lawyer here? It's personal.
No,
you don't have to answer that. I'm sorry.
I have to go back to school and I'm too old. So.
You've been here a while? I'm a lawyer too. You've been here a while? You like it here?
Yes.
And how do you feel about Trump?
I like what the message that he bring on the campaign, and
I'm sure you'll find it.
I don't agree with whatever whatever he said, but mostly I agree with the issue that on his campaign.
If I ask you anything you don't want to answer.
Well, I'm Bismarck, and that's Rini and Christy. When we are online, we watch tomorrowpictures.tv.
And there was that one question that said ecumenical. I don't know if you meant literally ecumenical, like the church, or economical.
I can see my feet.
Did that just happen?
It's amazing.
That's sorry about that.
No, but I like that.
Very dramatic.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم ومالك يوم الدين وإياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Yeah, like that.
You want that manual book?
No, we're good now. I'm gonna stop it.
Tomorrow Pictures. The story is in the telling.
Are people afraid of the rising power of Asians? I think because of the sheer number of Asians. You take 1.1 billion people in China, and you take 1 billion Indian people, and then all the other Asians. gracious. They are afraid. You're right. Yeah.